It was a bright electric night in Los Angeles, the city's skyline glittering under a blanket of stars. The city buzzed with anticipation, as if it knew something special was about to unfold. The streets outside were alive with the hum of luxury cars arriving, their headlights sweeping across the grand entrance of one of the city's most iconic hotels. Inside, the Beverly Grand Hotel was transformed into a world of elegance and glamour. Crystal chandeliers cast a golden glow over the ballroom, their light dancing across polished marble floors and reflecting off the walls. The air was filled with the soft murmur of conversation and the gentle clinking of glasses, as guests admired the stunning decor and the sense of occasion. Guests, in elegant dresses and sharp suits, sat at round tables draped in white linen, surrounded by flickering candles and fresh flowers. Laughter and music mingled in the air, creating a lively, joyful atmosphere. Old friends greeted each other with warm embraces, while new acquaintances exchanged stories and smiles, all united by a shared sense of purpose. The energy in the room was palpable, a mix of excitement and curiosity. Everyone knew they were about to witness something memorable. All eyes turned toward the entrance, waiting for the special guest, Prince Harry. Suddenly, the room hushed, conversations fading into silence as he appeared at the edge of the stage, his presence commanding immediate attention. Harry wore a simple, impeccably tailored dark suit, his smile warm and genuine as he stepped into the spotlight. Cameras flashed from every corner, capturing the moment as he waved to the crowd. The applause was thunderous, echoing off the high ceilings, a sign of the admiration and respect the audience felt for him. Standing tall and confident, Harry looked every bit the leader, ready to share his message with the world. His eyes scanned the room, meeting the gaze of supporters and friends alike. People leaned forward in their seats, eager to hear what he had to say, their attention fixed on every word and gesture. This was not just any night, nor just any event. It was a charity gala dedicated to mental health, a cause deeply personal to Harry, and one he has championed for years. The room was filled with advocates, professionals, and those whose lives had been touched by the issue, all gathered to support a mission that mattered. As Harry greeted guests and exchanged a few words with those near the stage, he seemed completely at ease, comfortable among the crowd. Yet there was a sense of purpose shining in his eyes, a determination to make a difference. The excitement in the room was contagious, spreading from table to table as everyone felt the significance of the moment. There was hope in the air, a feeling that tonight could spark real change. For a moment, it seemed as if nothing could go wrong. The audience was united, inspired, and ready to listen, as Harry prepared to speak from the heart and lead the way toward a brighter future. Harry began to speak. The room, once filled with the gentle hum of conversation, fell silent as all eyes turned to him. There was a sense of anticipation in the air, as if everyone knew something important was about to be shared. His voice was strong and clear, carrying across the hall with a calm authority. Each word seemed carefully chosen, resonating with sincerity and purpose. He talked about mental health, sharing how important it is for people to support each other. He emphasized that mental health struggles are not a sign of weakness, but a part of being human. Harry reminded everyone that reaching out for help is a sign of courage, not shame. He spoke simply, using words that touched many hearts. No one should feel alone, he said. We can help each other heal. He encouraged the audience to check in on friends and family, to listen without judgment, and to offer kindness whenever possible. The audience listened closely. Some nodded, others wiped tears from their eyes. The power of his message was clear. People felt seen and understood, perhaps for the first time in a long while. Harry shared stories from his own life, how he struggled and how he found help. He spoke about moments of darkness and the relief he felt when he finally opened up to those he trusted. His honesty made the room feel safe, as if everyone could share their own stories too. The room grew quiet as he spoke about hope and kindness. His energy filled the stage. He talked about the importance of community and how even small gestures can make a big difference in someone's life. He walked from one side to the other, meeting people's eyes and making them feel seen. With every step, he seemed to bridge the gap between speaker and listener, inviting everyone to be part of the conversation. The crowd responded with soft applause, feeling connected to his words. Even those who did not know him felt the message deep inside. There was a sense of unity, as if everyone in the room was sharing the same experience. People whispered to each other about how brave he was. For many, it was the highlight of the night. Conversations continued long after he left the stage, with guests reflecting on their own journeys and the importance of supporting one another. Harry's words lingered in the air, inspiring hope and compassion that would last far beyond the evening. But then something changed. Harry's voice, once full of power, began to tremble. His words slowed, and he paused more often. The room sensed something was wrong, but no one could tell what. He tried to keep going, gripping the sides of the podium. His face turned pale, and sweat shone on his forehead. Some people in the front row exchanged worried glances. The energy in the room shifted from excitement to concern. Harry's hands shook, and his breathing grew heavy. He whispered the last few words, barely loud enough for the microphone to catch. The change was sudden and clear to all. In a matter of seconds, the mood in the hall went from hopeful to tense. People stopped clapping. The cheerful chatter turned to anxious silence. Everyone waited to see what would happen next. Then it happened. In the middle of his speech, Harry's knees buckled unexpectedly, and he lost his balance. The room, filled with laughter and applause just moments before, fell silent in an instant, as everyone realized something was wrong. He tried desperately to steady himself, reaching out for the podium, but his hands trembled and he could not regain control. His face showed confusion and distress, and for a brief second it seemed as if he might recover. But then, in front of everyone, he collapsed onto the stage floor. The sound of his body hitting the ground echoed through the hall, cutting through the stunned silence. Gasps and shouts erupted from the crowd, echoing off the ornate walls. Some people instinctively covered their mouths, while others called out his name in alarm. Chairs scraped against the floor as people stood up, unsure what to do or where to go. The confusion was palpable, and a sense of panic began to ripple through the audience. Within seconds, helpers rushed to his side. Event staff and trained medics moved quickly, weaving through the crowd to reach the stage. A security guard and a nurse from the event knelt beside him, checking his pulse and trying to get a response. Their faces were tense with concern as they worked together, speaking in urgent whispers. Someone in the front row pulled out their phone and called for more help, their voice shaking with fear as they described the emergency to the operator. The audience watched in shock, frozen in their seats, unable to look away from the unfolding crisis. Some clutched their programs tightly, knuckles white with anxiety. A few guests covered their mouths in disbelief, eyes wide with horror at the sudden turn of events. The festive mood had vanished, replaced by fear and uncertainty. Others hesitated, pulling out their phones, unsure whether to record the incident or call for help. The uncertainty in the room was overwhelming as people struggled to process what was happening. The moment felt unreal, like a scene from a movie, but it was painfully real for those in the room. The energy had shifted completely, and everyone was united in shock and concern for Harry. Time seemed to slow down, every second stretching out as people waited for any sign that he would be okay. The tension was thick, and the air felt heavy with worry. The lively night, once filled with hope and celebration, had turned into a moment of crisis. The transformation was so sudden that it left everyone reeling, struggling to comprehend what they had just witnessed. No one could believe what they had just seen. The shock lingered in the air, and for a long moment it seemed as if the entire world had stopped, waiting for answers, hoping for good news. People in the audience did not know what to do. Some sat frozen, eyes wide with shock. Others whispered quickly to their neighbours, "Is he okay? What's happening?" The questions filled the air, but no one had answers. A woman in the front row started to cry quietly. A man beside her offered his hand in comfort. Another guest stood up, looking for hotel staff to help. The event's hosts tried to calm everyone, but their own voices shook. Outside the hall, news of the collapse spread quickly. Staff closed the doors, asking guests to stay seated. Some tried to leave, worried and upset, while others stayed, hoping for good news about Harry. The mood was heavy. People wanted answers, but all they could do was wait and hope. It did not take long for the outside world to find out. Within minutes, guests who had seen the collapse posted updates on social media. "Prince Harry has collapsed," one tweet read. On Instagram, short videos from the event started to appear. People shared their worries and prayers online. Hashtags about Harry's health began to trend. News reporters called the hotel, asking for statements. Photos of the scene spread everywhere, from Twitter to Facebook. Some posts asked for privacy and kindness. Others demanded more information. The news even made its way onto late-night TV as anchors shared live updates from outside the hotel. In just a few hours, the world was talking about Harry. The story was everywhere, and no one could stop the growing wave of attention. As the story spread, people started to argue. Some said Harry's collapse was a real emergency, a reminder that stress and health problems can affect anyone, even a prince. They felt sorry for him and wished him well. Others were not so sure. They wondered if the event was planned to get attention. Rumours grew. Was it real, some asked? Is it just a stunt? On talk shows and in comment sections, people shared their doubts. The debate got loud. Some wanted to give Harry space and privacy. Others only wanted more details and more drama. The truth became harder to see as the noise grew louder. Everyone had an opinion, but few really knew what Harry was feeling or facing that night. It is easy to forget that public figures are just people. Harry has lived most of his life in the spotlight. Every step he takes is watched and judged. The pressure can be heavy even for someone who seems strong. Famous people often have to smile and look perfect, even when they are tired or sick. They must face rumours, harsh words, and the stress of always being seen. Many people do not realise how hard this can be. Harry's collapse reminded everyone that health is not just about what we see on the outside. Sometimes people hide their pain until it is too much to bear. Being famous does not protect anyone from feeling weak or overwhelmed. We should remember that everyone, even a prince, can have a bad day. In the days after the event, the world kept talking. But maybe it is time to listen instead of gossiping. Harry's collapse reminds us that health, both body and mind, matters more than rumours or drama. We should care about people, not just stories. When someone is hurt or struggling, kindness is more important than curiosity. Privacy and respect can help someone heal, while gossip only causes more pain. Famous or not, everyone needs support. The world is quick to judge, but slow to understand. Let us remember that behind every headline is a real person with real struggles. In the end, health comes first. Respect and care are the best gifts we can offer, no matter who is in the spotlight.